Yo, I am hyphen X, and welcome to the Great Conversation, where we indulge in healthy dialogue about topics that are important in today's society and culture. It's 2020. There's something in the air, there's something in the water, there's something in the food, there's something in the souls of the people that's getting the people to want to get riled up, either for or against, pros and cons for all kinds. But it's very important for people to sit down and have great conversations. One of the premise here on Great Conversation is to understand the fact that you don't always have to agree to have a great conversation. To the left of me, I have two guests. I have one guest here. Got Tim King. What's going on, bro?
Not much. How's it going?
Hey, man. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Me and Tim, we go back. We used to work together. For I want to say some years.
Yeah, it was probably a couple of years.
Yeah, about 2 years we worked together. Yeah, so me and Tim, we know each other on a professional level, and an acquaintance level. Good guy here. To the far left, get my man's. He's not a stranger here to get great conversation. Got Blac Baby Rich. What's going on, bro?
I'm happy to be here, man.
Hey, man, I'm glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So we know what the topic is. We know what's really going on in the world. Right now, 2020 is going to go down as the Black Lives Matter movement marathon year, however they want to say it. Tell them your thoughts.
My thoughts as far as the Black Lives Matter movement, I agree with the movement itself. The message that is being portrayed is a great message. It is a message of lives matter. Some of the people in the organization I do not agree with. And based off of my disagreements with some of the people in the organization, on Facebook, I've been tagged as a racist. Now, if I was a racist, would I be here? Would I be here to have a great conversation with yourself and Big Baby Rich here?
Well, just because you're sitting talking to us wouldn't say that you're not a racist, but I would say that me knowing, I don't know you as a racist. Why are you being accused of being a racist?
I brought up an article about 9 people being killed in Chicago. And I asked, where's the Black Lives Matter movement rioting or protesting in Chicago? Where are the big medias, the big media outlets saying or protesting about all the people who are being killed in Chicago, opposed to the Kenosha, Wisconsin, Jacob Blake case, where obviously a white police officer shoots a black man in the back 7 times. And I was just curious on why is this case getting such publicity and the 9 people shot and killed in Chicago are pretty much no names.
Blac Baby Rich, would you like to respond?
Okay, there's a few points that I want to make just to open up. There's a distinct difference between the licensed, I guess, copywritten Black Lives Matter movement, organization, rather, that was founded by individuals for a specific purpose. They have a ethos that they work with, that they follow, a set of rules and whatnot. They're actually a legitimate organization that's separate from and shouldn't be confused with any protesters who genuinely believe that Black Lives Matter as a sentiment, which is fine, and it's its own entity. I don't want it to be confused with the organization itself. You said you had interactions with members of the Black Lives Matter organization on Facebook, that would need to be verified that they were actual representatives of the actual organization if you're going to say that, because there are people who actually represent that organization who will actually confirm or deny that. Now, as far as somebody saying, hey, I feel like Black Lives Matter in general, and I'm not a political person, I'm not saying this from an organizational standpoint, I'm saying this because I'm black and I feel like my life matters and those around me matter, and you disagree with them on social media, that's a different cross to bear. Number one. Number two, the outrage associated with the murder of mostly unarmed black men by people in positions of authority is it's not isolated to the battle cries that we use, the George Floyd and the people that stand out more and get more media attention, maybe because there was video footage of the incidents that kind of outrage people in a different way. But the outrage isn't just singled out to the Kenosha shooting and things like that. It's just the fact that those are battle cries. Those are things that rally people together and say, hey, listen, I've seen it, even if I was a little bit skeptical, and enough is enough, and I want to do something about it. So that's just a few distinctions that I wanted to make as far as you're open. You know, I want to find out whether you were actually discussing these topics with a member of BLM or just a person, a protester or a general supporter who doesn't have to uphold the same standards that the people of BLM have to uphold.
So I guess Tim is asking is it verified that this person was a member of the Black Lives Matter organization, or was this a protester, a person that actively protested?
Well, and I never stated that it was a Black Lives Matter organization member who posted me as racist.
Okay.
It was friends from Facebook.
Okay.
After I posted the question, where's Black Lives Matter in Chicago, opposed to Kenosha.
And then okay. So I don't even think it's even relevant, even if who you were in contact with. My question is, both are issues, right? Correct? You know what I'm saying? So I think you're saying, this is what it sounds like you're saying to people. Where's Black Lives Matters when the blacks kill the blacks? And then opposed to when the white man kills the blacks or the police officer kills the blacks. Where's the outrage for that? So if you guys are killing each other, then that gives them the right to kill you too. That's what it comes off as. Could you see that?
I can definitely see that. I mean, coming from a white person, I definitely can see where that came from, where that's coming from.
Well, even if an Asian guy was to say, hey, what about the 9 killings in Chicago, the black on black crime? If they're killing each other, then they can kill them too.
That's definitely not what I was just curious because I'm not a very political person. I normally don't go into this sort of thing, but I hear all of these things about the black community's afraid of being persecuted by the white officers.
Okay.
I think I have something that can help. People aren't saying that black people are not killing black people, or that it's killed unfairly. What people are kneeling for and protesting for is the proper use of police tactics across the board, which would enable people to not be afraid or to be hesitant to encounter a police officer on a dark night. That shouldn't be a thing. It should be a reassuring thing to see a police officer at night or something like that, or coming through the neighborhood. You know, you should be, as a citizen, as a law-abiding citizen, you should be, hey, officer, great. No, but it's not like that.
Right. It should be some type of community with that officer. You shouldn't have a unhealthy fear when you see a police officer or a person of authority. You can go ahead and elaborate more on that for us.
Right. Thank you. What I was saying was, people aren't campaigning, hey, you know, only black people are being killed by only white police officers. There is a group should respond to that. Should.
Go ahead.
What group? What extremist group or what organization, what entity should reply to that headline when it reads racially ambiguous?
Man kills boy.
Man kills boy and bloody whatever. It says something terrible and it's ambiguous. Who should respond then?
Who's responsible?
The National Guard, the Crips?
The Department of Justice.
So DOJ is going to send guys in suits out here when that happens?
That's what they're there for.
I don't think, but you know what? Like, America's dirty little secret is that we don't care about race. You know what I'm saying? But we really do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's asked on all applications and everything that you do, from the time you're born to the time you go to school to when you go get a job to the time you check up out of here. You know what I'm saying? In your obituary. It's all in there. So, of course, they're going to say black. George Zimmerman, I believe he want to say he identifies with being white because of his stepfather. And he thinks that he's his stepfather's son. So he identifies with being white. So I think that's why they use the terminology white. But I can understand it because
I didn't know that.
No, that's fine. Because I can understand because you do have a certain it's okay. You have a certain pride of being white. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Just like I have a pride of being black. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You have a pride of being white, so you don't want anyone claiming your set if they're not a part of being black, being white, having a pride in that. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. I think the problem comes when you think that you're better than.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
When you think you're better than, or people are beneath you. So I can empathize and understand what you're saying about when they called George Zimmerman a white man and clearly he wasn't a white man. You were offended by that.
Yes.
I would understand that.
I was more offended that he got his ass whooped and then he shot a kid.
I was most offended. I am most offended that for outright murder. I mean, he seems to have made a profit. From what I understand, hasn't he written a book or something like that? Or,
he was signing Skittles.
you know, he's signing Skies Tea and Skittles. I think he's got movie rights or something that he's trying to sell.
For people he has so that means there's a market for that. There's a market for it. That means there are people that are going to spend money to pay George Zimmerman to sign Skittle bags in representation of him murdering Trayvon Martin. This is America's dirty secret. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about how when black people are being hung from trees, that they had the whole family out there watching, like, this is great, this is a good time. We don't talk about that. It's a dirty little secret. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's generational because you can't look at a person that's in our age group and just say, hey man, you know, why you like that, or why you think that? Chances are they didn't just wake up and just decide, you know what, I'm not gonna like black people. No,
right.
Chances are that's inherently gifted to you from somebody you respect, that you love, that you honor. Your pastor probably was in an all-white church. You know, he might even slandered the word of God that maybe make you feel as though this is the place to be and we're the people to be here. Your grandfather, your grandmother, everybody you love, your teacher, your coach, and all that. So you mean to tell me these people were wrong? You mean to tell me these people was wrong about what they said about me and us and being white? Come on. I don't know how I would feel about that. If I was a white man and everything I learned from everybody I respected, it was being questioned, I don't know how I would feel. I don't know if I would, okay, cool, I'll throw all that up. It's cool. No, I don't know. I don't know. Because I know people who are racist in the black community. Specifically racist. They don't, oh, he's white, oh, I'm not buying that from him. Oh, no, oh, white people bought the store, oh, I ain't shopping there. I specifically know people, oh, I don't want my daughter dating no white dude. Like, that's a racist statement. That's just commonplace in the hood. But that's a racist statement to make. But you don't tell your child that. That's ridiculous. But that's racist. It's racism. It's evident. It's prevalent. It's out there. That's racist. I don't care. If you don't want to date a white man, you don't date a white man. Don't tell your daughter that. That's crazy. Like,
but honestly, I don't want my daughter to come home with a white dude.
You may not. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, I know.
What you gonna do? You're gonna present that? Come on, man. And then expect her. Okay, you do that. You present that.
You know that. But I know what that does.
You present that. 30 years from now, she's like, I don't know about that white guy. I don't feel that way. Like, yeah, that's a little racist. I don't know. She's racist. You helped.
I don't know. Maybe because I was taught like that.
That's what I'm just.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying.
That's my point.
That's
it's generational.
Racism is taught.
It's taught. So these people.
But I don't, man.
I know. And you know what? You know what? You know what? A lot of people are going to agree with that.
Right.
And that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
But to fault a 22-year-old white man whose father was in the military, a career military man, who's a career patriot, who feels as though white's right, and the other stuff is, I don't know.
It's pot calling kettle pot.
Right.
Yeah.
That man he feels as though, it's like when you raise Christian, and somebody comes like, hey man, man.
So that's like when Marcus Garvey sat down with the leader of the KKK, the Grand Wizard. Like they sat down, they had a conversation because they do agree on certain topics.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I'm saying? For the enrichment of their people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if I was let me ask you. So if I was a white man, I would feel like white people are losing a grip on society. Like the white man is losing his grip. Everything has been integrated, poured into everything. Like white is being diluted down. You know what I'm saying? Like there's teaching Spanish in schools now. You know what I'm saying?
And in that case, you would be considered a racist.
Yeah. Like now the white people that you know, generation, think people in your family.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that think like this.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I have cousins that think like hey, yeah, hang 'em, lynch 'em. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, every family has them though.
Yeah.
Every family in America has a racist person. Well, whether it's a cousin, whether it's an uncle, whether it's brother or sister.
Yeah. A lot of the times, those people are hardworking.
Yeah.
Integrity, other than what we're discussing.
Right.
Stand-up guys. You get a shirt off their back.
They just have a belief.
Right. So when you're gonna tell this other person that this person that I just described is bad dope.
I just think when that belief turns into fuel and it turns into violence, it's
misguided.
And white people are the only ones that's had that go out of control like that. Like they go in, they murder, they pillage, they, you know what I'm saying? They do a lot of things. It's different nowadays because they can hide behind a badge, and it's more so a systematic thing now. It's not a I'm white, I'm better than. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Think about how absurd it is. Most of us, we raised Christian. I know I was.
Yeah.
And think about how absurd it is for the concept of like Buddhism or somebody else, walk up to you and be like, hey, you worship this statue, or do this right here. What? It's God.
What you talking about?
Like, it's just so absurd. It's so absurd. Now some of us have been raised Christian, and then we went on and looked into Islam, and okay, I think I'll be Muslim. Okay, that's cool. You did your research, you studied, but for the most part,
at that induction.
Yeah, you're like, what are you talking? Come on. And then later on, it may make sense to you. It may not. I don't know.
Right.
But just think about the absurdity of the introduction of Jesus Christ isn't Jesus Christ. God isn't God. This
Right.
is something else. We worship this over here.
Oh, get out of here.
Yo, you a pagan. Yo, you a
going-
wild.
you're
yo.
going to hell.
You going straight to hell. Yo, get away from me. Get thee from me. You trying to get away from
Get
me.
ye from around me,
Right, you
Satan.
trying to
Keep that
throw
voodoo stuff from
Right,
around me.
exactly. You ain't trying to hear it. That's how it feels when somebody first tells you, hey, listen, man, you can't fuck with them white people, man. Hey, man, you can't fuck with them black folk. Hey, man, you can.
So does it make me a racist if I say, you know, before I spend my money, I want to spend it with somebody black first?
It makes you race oriented. Now, if you say I'm not going to spend money with white people because they're white, that makes you a blatant racist.
I saw Killer Mike try to do that. That boy damn near died of starvation.
That makes you. That makes you an outright racist if you say, yo, if a business, a product, or an establishment is ran by a person of a certain color, I'm not going to buy it. Not because of the quality of the product or the service, but because of his color. Anything because of color is racism.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that that's my money.
You
And-
can choose
yeah,
the priority of which you spend your money.
Right.
But if you outright say, I'm not buying from a person that's white because he's white, and that's the only reason I'm not buying it, and I don't care, I'm not buying it. That's racism.
But what if I just flip it? What if I'm like, I'm buying from him because he's black, just because he's black?
That's sketchy. That's great, but it's great. That's very great.
Like, how much business do you do with black people?
As much as he needs to. As much as he needs to.
All the time?
Like,
Come on, I worked at.
You said, come on.
I worked at the Connection. I worked at Alorica. I worked at Cervicom. I'm sorry, I was a minority at
You
those
worked at
places.
Servitown, man. Come
Yes.
oh man, we all good, man. Servitown's a wild.
I worked at Burger King.
Right.
I worked at Arby's. I can't say how many black people I've served, how many black people I've worked with, and you know what? The majority of them I've loved. The majority of them I felt like family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, some of them I didn't like, but you know what? That's because I don't like everyone. You don't like everyone. You can't like everyone.
No, you can't.
It's not because of the color of their skin. It's because
Personality.
of personality.
Who they
I
are.
think they're dumb.
Yeah.
Come on. They say something dumb, stupid. Well, what are you supposed to do?
It's about who they are.
Yeah.
Here's the dichotomy, right? I grew up in the projects, man. I grew up in like the worst possible like economic situation you could think of. Like, you know, so like, whatever comes with it. You've seen the movies, you know, Paid in Full, you know, you've seen it.
All that.
That's where I grew up. But I went to school with some of the best private schools in the country because you know, I outperformed intellectually and academically. I graduated high school when I was 15, so I went to prep schools. I never wore a pair of jeans to school in my life. So, and that's a fact. I wore a tie 6 days a week for damn near 20 years. That's a fact.
Man, been slacked down.
That's a fact. Like, you know,
Been slacked down.
I'm serious. I got 2 degrees now. You know, on top of that, I'm not playing around. But
Man,
again, the duality is this. I walk home. I got that stuff on. I'm walking through the worst possible projects, the worst possible neighborhoods. My family has an impregnable reputation. Like everybody knows what's going on. So it's not a great idea to bother me, but everybody's not educated, so it can still happen.
Yeah. They'll almost say you was dressed like a Vic.
All the time until you know. You know. So now mind you, I mean it's ways to do this. You got a pair of khakis, don't mean you ain't got no, you know,
Right.
you know. But the duality I get is this. My experience was coming home, wearing that, being in the hood, staying outside, being outside, doing what people do when they live in those environments, going in the house, maintaining that honor roll average, going back to school where there's 2 black people and experiencing racism there. Because I can't probably technically afford to be there financially. I'm there on merit. And they're not happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've encountered racism left, right, sideways,
Yeah.
on an athletic
All the way around.
deal, everything. Like I'm trying to get, even if they have to let me on the team, they don't have to let me play. You know what I mean? They don't gotta let me run. They don't gotta let me wrestle. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I found that not only does racism exist on both sides, but acceptance doesn't exist on either side.
You know, a lot of people in the community will push back on saying that black people cannot be racist just for the merit that they don't control anything, that we don't control anything. Racism has to be able to directly affect you, but like you said, with the whole business thing, that directly affects you.
They're talking about systemic racism specifically. They're talking about systemic racism that affects change, that affects policy. That's what they're talking about when they say that. Racism as a sentiment doesn't need to be anything but fueled by color. Anything fueled specifically and only by color. Anything that you would or would not do. And you're basing that decision not on merit, not on integrity, not on value, but on color. That is racism at any point.
I think Martin Luther King Jr. said it best. Don't judge me by the color of my skin. Judge me by the content of my heart.
Character. Content of his character. And he said that was part of his dream, is he could be judged by that. And again, if you're not being judged strictly by the content of your character.
So, okay, so what's the difference between being racist and being prejudiced?
I'm not sure there's much of a difference. I'm sure there's a definition difference. Well, I'm not sure there's much of a difference as far as the sentiment is concerned.
Right.
But I think prejudice, you gotta look at the word. You know, it's prejudged.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
like,
so you judge somebody before you get the opportunity to get the information. Whereas racism is, I have the information I need. You're black. I don't like you. That's the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But prejudice is...
Boy, them slacks came in handy, boy.
That's the difference.
That boy put it together quick, didn't he?
That's the difference.
Yeah. So, like, tell where you grow up at.
Rockville, Illinois.
Right here.
9th Avenue. 9th Avenue and 8th Street.
Oh, man.
So, talking about living in the hood, yes, I know.
Yeah,
I know about living in the hood. I know about walking home. I know about all that stuff.
Yeah, man. I know you do.
Yeah.
You had to come through the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know you had to come through.
I know I got jumped a few times walking to the store.
Yeah, I bet.
Dang.
Yep.
I bet.
They robbed you too, right?
Yep.
I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I
If
bet.
you're getting jumped, you gotta get jumped and robbed.
Oh, I ain't gonna fight back. No, look at me. Like, come on, look at me. What am I supposed to do?
Like, cover up.
Cover up.
Exactly. Here, you want something? Go ahead, take it. Take it. Here, you want something? Go ahead.
Cover your
Hit
face.
that hole. Yeah, watch your head.
You want my shoes? Go ahead, take my shoes. Go ahead.
So when you was getting jumped, you was getting jumped by blacks?
I got jumped by both.
Both?
Blacks and
Like
whites.
at the same time?
One time, yeah.
But majority of the time, like, you would like be a group of black dudes or a group of white dudes that jump you?
Normally it was about 2 black guys.
And you get robbed. So that could, we don't talk about that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, white people got a condition too. You know what I'm saying? Like, white people have a reasoning for thinking the way they think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I was getting jumped, that's what happened to us, getting jumped, getting lynched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This, that, and the other.
Common day persecution.
You know
I'm trying to tell you, there's times in the hood, guy like him will walk through.
It's a white guy.
And he probably just got paid. He got one of them construction jobs, man. That's a lick. That's a lick.
Cash job.
Oh, he probably just got paid under the table. Like, oh, he going to the whole stroll. Let's get him.
And
I
it happens.
man, listen.
It's America, baby.
Listen.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. That's why they trying to get you.
I can understand. The same way as if I was going down a certain street in the suburbs and listening to a bunch of rowdy dudes, tank tops and shit, backs and whatnot, looking at me like,
Yeah.
those guys like American History X type guys. What are they looking at me for? Like, I don't know. And then if they hit me and they jump me and I get away, all right, next time it happens, I'm like, wow.
If I go into a bar, like, say I go into a bar and that's a known white bar, and it's the kind of dudes that fit the description, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not finna risk it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
A, if they gonna get me. B, if the police come, guess what? They might get me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of connection they get. I might get put in the cell to get got again.
They get got.
You know what I'm saying?
They get got.
So, like, I'm not putting...
Now, mind you, that is racial profiling.
It is. And it's okay.
But it's prudent in this society because if it smells like fish,
Some stereotypes are true,
And
some stereotypes will keep you from getting your ass whooped.
with that type of situation being racial, I just say it's being smart.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to stay away from getting yourself hurt. It don't matter if you're going to a biker bar, a gay bar, a rap bar, a rave. It don't matter. If you don't feel comfortable going in that, you need to leave.
Do you bar hop in Belvedere?
No, I don't bar hop anymore.
All right,
The last time I bar hopped, I got my jaw broke.
All right, well listen. When I first got here about 2 years ago, I was with somebody who was up in Belvedere, and I didn't have a car yet, so we would walk from bar to bar in Belvedere, and this dude was white, but he was banned from almost half the bars in Belvedere. You know, that's my guy, but he was a wild dude. Bar fights, whole nine, and everywhere I went with him, we couldn't go. Ultimately, because I was associated with him, a white guy, I couldn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They think you like him, just like him.
So,
Birds of a feather.
you know, I'm going to bar without him now, and I can't go.
You identify
Yeah.
with him. You linked.
Yeah.
And so, and these are, you know, and there was never a black person that turned me away. It was always a white person that turned me away because of another white person's behavior.
Yeah, because they don't like him.
Right.
They don't like him.
So where's the racism? Like, where's the racism? Where can I stand the racism card down now?
Because I'm going to show you how to throw it down. So you'll say that they're only treating you that way because of the white dude you're with because he's a FOB. He's a friend of blacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
It's America, baby. You can throw a racism card down.
Man, they didn't counter that, but you know.
Because you're going to find it. Racism is embedded in America, society, culture, and everything we do, in the language, in the foods, everything. Everything. Even, you say, if I say fried chicken, right? Who you think about?
KFC.
Peruvian people.
The Colonel.
Like,
I'm like, they be cooking a fried chicken, man. In the love. But when you say fried chicken, you may think the South.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Southern fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I seen an episode where Paula Deen was frying chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, fried chicken is a Southern dish. It's not a black dish. It's from the South.
Yeah.
Was she
Collard
all
greens.
butter?
Yeah, she did. She got it in.
Add a stick of butter.
She probably used all butter. It's fried the whole.
But what I'm saying is that it all. So you're American.
Yeah, I'm American.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you're American. You're American.
Yeah, we all here.
But you said it so much. You said it differently than I say it. You said I'm American. Like,
Because I'm proud to be an American.
I feel like I'm from America.
Yeah.
You ain't even gotta tell them. They know. As soon as they
If
see you.
I leave America, they're gonna be like, oh, you're black. No, I'm like, no,
No,
the American.
They're American.
And I'm like, no, I'm
They
from
ain't gonna throw
America.
African on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm
No,
American.
American.
Just American. That's funny because you said that with a pride. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, why is it that when you leave America, you stop being an African American? You just become an American.
yeah, you're just an American then, because they can tell.
You ever
Because they
notice
lump
that?
us together. They don't care over there.
Like, so
They
as soon as
don't
you get to
care.
France, it's like, oh, the American.
Yeah, the Americans.
Oh, the two. They'll see me and
she's
tell me, like, look at the two
American.
Americans.
Yeah.
And it's different cultures, too.
What?
Totally different cultures
That'd
over
be
there.
crazy. That'd be crazy. That'd be a good little show. Send two racist people, you know what I'm saying, overseas together to have to survive.
Oh,
You know?
wow.
Just drop them
Give them
off.
great ideas, these
Drop them off in China.
It's like giving them a free game. It's like giving them a free game. You know what I mean? That's free game.
He said it's
They
copyright.
finna do it.
That's free games, man.
Go down, man.
Stop playing with them.
They will come out being good friends.
But yeah, because when you go through something, that's kind of like the movie Mud. Y'all seen the movie Mud?
No,
On
but I
Netflix?
get the concept already. Go ahead, give it to me.
Yep. So it's like the segregated South. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they're down there just living in the mud, and you got like these two different families. You got the black family that's, I want to say they're like a generation outside of slavery, because he's not a sharecropper. He owns his own land. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the white man that comes in and he lives on the land now, but he bought the land. I don't know how. Honestly, I don't really understand how he even took over. He just moved there, and everybody naturally assumed that he's white, so he's living there, so he's the boss now. You know, it was crazy. Like,
word, he showed up.
He just kind of showed up, bro. He kind of showed up. It was
Mud, huh?
Mud on Netflix. But then, like, he something happened. Like, so then he's there. The white guy is there with his dad. You know what I'm saying? His dad knows like how black people used to be in a place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the white guy and the black dude, they both have sons, and they both go to the military. One is in the air, one is on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So these two guys come home, and they're actually able to have a common bond and a respect for each other because they both went through the same thing with each other. You know what I'm saying? While the other two kind of are having this power struggle. The two fathers, they're having a power struggle. I might be butchering it. It's a great episode.
No, but the premise is there.
Check out True View Podcast. That's my homeboy's podcast. We did a review on it. They did actually a great job doing it. I just butchered it. But
shout out to True View Podcast. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, check them out. Man, tell me, you got any last words, bro?
Well, for the whole thing about the mud thing, it's just like we're just saying here, it's generational.
Yeah.
I mean, father probably owned slaves. White father probably owned slaves.
Yeah.
Black father probably was a slave.
Let me ask you all a question.
So they got a certain disdain for each other.
Mm-hmm. Where should the effort be applied then? And because I hear a lot of people talking about it's too late, let's separate. It's over with. All that equality stuff is over with. And I hear some people saying let's push for equality. Let's go Martin. What do y'all? Where should the effort be applied in society?
You can't push for equality.
You can't push for equality.
No. Equality is something that everyone's got to agree on.
What's equal? What's equal to you might not be equal to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
right.
know what I'm saying? So what's equal?
So if I try to push my thought of equality on DC here, and his thought is different than mine, there's not going to be any...
I guess when people say equal, they mean
fair and balanced.
The decision-making ability, like as far as our representation. And
they will say just vote.
And
yeah.
They'll say we already have that in place. Yeah,
man,
I know, bro.
It's all outdated. It's all outdated.
That's what they were saying.
It's all outdated. It's all outdated. We trying to fix something that can't be fixed. It's all outdated.
Right.
Like none of it's gonna work.
The whole joint is done.
It's not gonna work.
In a utopian environment, I guess they're talking about we got real representation in leadership. I mean, I ain't talking about like aldermen or I'm talking about like Congress count out. Like we got guys in there. Like I guess they're talking about for real, all the way down the middle. And that's not gonna happen. That's ideal. That's utopian. Come on, it's ridiculous. So should we push? Maybe not even in our lifetime, but should we push for a separate society?
I think we already have separate societies.
I mean, obviously,
I think that
noted one.
I think the only way to do it is economically, and through economics comes land. Through economics comes opportunity. Through economics comes prosperity, comes good mental health. You know what I'm saying? Because you take away the worry.
So you wanted the Black Wall Street. You want us to get rioted and burnt down.
Well, no, you can't just do that. We have to. Now we have to understand that once we do that, we're not second-class citizens, and we have the. If we have learned anything from these protests, if we have learned anything, that we have the right to bear arms. If we learn anything, we have the right to bear arms against people that come up against our business or our person. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we should learn. So there will be no burning down and pillaging of another black town. That would never happen again. That would never happen again.
The economic diversity and the success in a short amount of time that was in existence shows you the resilience and the application of what we're able to do. If we're
the right people, because it wasn't everybody.
Right, wasn't them. But left to our own devices with the right filtering system, we can do something.
Because it was 102 businesses.
First, you have to change the thought process of the masses, because everybody don't think like we think. You know what I'm saying?
create the dialogue.
Not every black person feel the
Yeah.
same way we feel. Some people perfectly fine living in their matrix and they don't want to have nothing to do with nothing. They're perfectly content with that. That's the problem.
Well, some people, I have someone I call the professor. She doesn't like when I say this, but some people are here to just be governed.
She.
Not everybody, and then they say, then this is what they can say about this. They be like, and that will make you a capitalist.
Capitalism is the backbone of America. What do you mean? Of course.
Like boom, boom, boom. Because there are pillars. You know what I'm saying? Even there are hierarchies. You know what I'm saying? Every culture there's hierarchies.
So you're not a capitalist?
I got it in me.
You're not a capitalist?
I definitely got it in me.
You're not a capitalist, bro?
But
I'm a capitalist, man.
I definitely have it. I definitely have it in me, but it does not control me.
I'm a capitalist.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get that bread.
I am a capitalist. I'm
You're-
proud.
you're
I'm
American.
an absolutist. I'm an absolutist, and I am a capitalist. I'm a venture businessman, I'm a venture investor, and I am a capitalist. Yes.
Slacks. That's
Slacks for 20 years.
Yes.
Black Baby Rich, aka the Slacks.
Yes. Not only I'm a venture capitalist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
By
hear you.
trade and design. So why not? I'll
Go
own
for
it.
it.
Own it.
Because I think, I like I said, I believe economics is the only way. Because okay, say we do say, okay, guys, we're gonna separate. Where we finna go? Where we going? We're gonna go take over another place.
Back to Africa.
And kill those indigenous people that are there and enslave
We
them.
so displaced. There is no
And
we're
build it
here.
up,
Like that's it. We here.
You gotta dig out a spot.
We gotta just do it economically. We just buy neighborhoods and land.
They ain't
Yeah.
doing nothing in New Mexico.
Land for sale on the west side under $10,000.
That's what I'm saying. Income tax coming up.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we should do a community fundraiser.
You
And
said-
just
you
buy
said-
the
you
land.
said what? Buy land. for
Buy the
$10,000?
land. It's under 10,000 on the west side of
Why is he
Rockford.
smiling so hard? Look, my man.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
He is a
Excuse
capitalist.
me, sir.
see.
Sir, there is land on the west side of Rockford for under $10,000.
Under 10 grand?
There is houses.
Oh,
What's this?
There are houses on the west side for under $20,000.
You wouldn't happen to know about any of these
Oh yeah. You know, come. We'll talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, I gotta actually dime for the right type of time.
Man.
What you talking about?
Hey, this has definitely been a great conversation. I am -X, and always remember, you don't always have to agree to have a great conversation. Peace.